we're here in Austria. I can leave the chat there. Okay, does that work like that? Okay, that works all right.
Hello, everybody. We have winter time here in Austria. Yesterday, we had a beautiful, nice, sunny day. Today is a little bit cloudy.
Yeah.
So a little bit, how do you say, foggy?
Yeah, foggy. Yeah,
Foggy.
overcast.
So it's changing here very quickly.
Yeah. So the plan for today, for those that have joined me before, normally I sort of go over what the what being a consultant is about and what's involved in becoming a consultant. So now that I'm in Austria here at the academy, Sasha and I can do this together, and we're going to sort of just off the cuff, just have a bit of a talk about how this started, give you a tour of the facility here, which is quite impressive. We'll let you have a quick look where the mattresses are made as well, which is part of that approach of creating a healthy sleeping environment. Then we'll talk a little bit about what is often investigated when we do home assessments for people. And then at the end, I can also elaborate with how the training process, how that sort of all fits together, as in the different courses and which ones run independently or work together. So I'll cover that at the end. So no set schedule, so this could be fun. I guess what I want to make sure people understand after this little talk, and I know we've covered a lot of things in other videos already, but we are different from other people. We're different with, I think, where we've come from, as in our history. We are different in our approach, as in, how we, for example, whenever possible, we want to assess somebody's body instead of incessantly just trying to assess the air, which just makes so little sense when it's about the body. So we're very different, and I'd like the people to understand why we're different. See this place. This is not a factory on the end of a business district with all dirty trucks outside. If health came from somewhere, it would come from this place, right? You would see that in here. Anyway, so that's a bit of my idea. So I know we've done very long videos of how it all started, but Sasha, if you could sort of explain to the people that have joined us, and of course people that watch the replay later, how did it start?
To make it short and quick,
Wow.
Which is actually normally not possible, because you could talk hours and hours and hours about it, but we never came up with the idea to do some kind of business like this. So it came up with the sickness of my mom. She had the second cancer with 38. Her age at this time was 38, and all the doctors which were involved, they all told us, the family, listen, there is no chance to get some success. So she has only half a year left for life, and she should finish her business.
Yeah, get the affairs in order.
Yeah, and that's it. And that was the point where my father said, that's not possible. I can't handle with this. And the good thing is that we are sailor. So the family, we are all sailors. And when you're on the Atlantic with the boat and something breaks, some machine breaks or whatever, then you don't have the garage beside you to ask them or to get some
roadside assistance,
also fixed parts or so. You have to deal with the things you have on board. So, and with this kind of
attitude,
he went to the problem. He rented the castle in Langenargen for 3 days, organized Krebs Symposium. Actually, it was the first Krebs Symposium, cancer symposium, which ever made.
Yeah.
And invited about 150 experts, doctors, homeopaths, engineers, whatever. Also a lot of different people. And so they were sitting there and were 3 days discussing about cancer, the causes of cancer. And that was actually the first time that he heard something about EMF, electric problems, low frequency, high frequency, geopathic stress and all this stuff. And in the beginning, because a professor of the University Weinstefan came to him and asked him, listen, Mr. Hahnen, I'm watching you now all the time. And when the colleagues are talking about, for example, geopathic stress, you're always smiling and laughing. So why? And he answered to the professor, listen, you can tell me a lot of things, but that crap I don't believe. Yeah. So that was his first opinion about everything. And this professor told him, hey, listen, you can have this opinion if you wish, yeah, but it's not very helpful. First of all, I would give you the advice to listen and to make your own thoughts about it.
Your own opinions.
And to learn about these things you don't understand, yeah, before you say that's crap. You know? So, and that was the point when he started to listen carefully. And after the 3 days, he said, yeah, okay, I learned a lot in these 3 days. And if we know that we have all these problems and these problems are causing other problems or cancer or whatever, what are the solutions? What can we do? And at this time, so we are talking about 1982, yeah, there were not very good solutions or even any solutions about these things. So, and when this Krebs Symposium was finished weeks later, he picked up some people out of that group of 150 people where he thought they could work good together. Yeah. So, and with this, actually, GeoVital started, or that work of GeoVital started with these people, with these experts to find solutions. And for example, the circuit cutoff switch, which is a simple, normal thing these days, yeah, were created out of that group. Yeah.
Yeah. For those who don't know what a circuit cutoff switch is, we have a little device that can be installed into the circuit breaker panel. And this device monitors the usage of electricity on an electrical circuit. And when no power is being used, like at night when you're turning all the ceiling lights off, or when you turn off the appliances that are plugged into power points, outlets, when the usage of the power stops, the cutoff switch cuts the power to that circuit temporarily and monitors when you want your power back. So when you try and flick something back on, the power comes back into the circuit. And by doing that, the wiring, which always basically emits an electric field, which comes out about 2 meters in length, 50, 60 times per second of every night, that is removed. And that's said to be a big impact on your sleep.
But there starts the problems why GeoVital is doing things different, because we are always looking for the solution, a solution which should work. Yeah. So, and in the beginning, when these guys, these engineers were creating this technique, yeah, they said, okay, if we want to do it good and right, we have to cut 2 wires, so neutral and live.
Yeah, active.
So they forgot in the early days to make a patent about it. Yeah, but other companies, they heard these guys are doing something, and we're looking what are they doing. So, and a few months later, the company Schalk came with the first circuit cutoff switch on the market. So they got this idea, did it by themselves. So that was the point where a patent was not possible anymore, because you cannot make a patent
something that's already
there. But in all the nearly 40 years now, because there are now a lot of companies who are doing circuit cutoff switches, they use the idea, but they don't do it right, because they create circuit cutoff switches which only cuts live and not neutral. So, and that is a problem, because we have about, let's say 30 or 40% of the houses where the circuit cutoff switch, the industrial circuit cutoff switch, is installed, but the result is not what you want to have. So you spend money, but you don't have the benefit. So, and that is the important part, where you have to cut both wires. So don't ask me why the industry is not doing it right.
I can tell you why, because
I don't know.
They don't work with people. They don't have patience. They have a product and they want to sell it. And as long as it sells, they're happy.
Yeah, but it makes no sense this way. Well, anyway, so, and if you have a look at the industrial circuit cutoff switch and our one, then you see that our one is double big.
The width.
Than the other one. So, and you have to understand that is only mechanically, wie sagt man, Gerät, device? Is it? Okay. So inside there is ein, wie sagt man, ein Relay.
Relay,
it makes click, clack, click, clack. So, and this relay here is a tiny, small one. So this one here is a huge one. And if you spend the money, because they all cost the same, this one here will be finished after a few years.
Okay, durability.
And that one here works and works and works and works. So, and that is the reason why we do it as strong as possible, instead to have it small like this. Okay,
maybe just to sort of reel back the story a little bit about how things go. So Werner had the meeting. There was a group, different interests. People stuck their head together. So that then led to, well, you can take over to doing assessments for people, and
so it developed everything by itself. So one came to the other and blah, 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 blah. So they started to create solutions for these things. Warner was starting to make a school because he said these topics are important. We have to bring them out. So people have to know. They have to have the possibility to come to learn these things. They started to make standards for home assessments. So they are also different, for example, like the building biologists, because they are doing, I would say, half work, because they don't, the most of them don't do geobatic stress.
It's optional with them.
So, and if you want to do it correctly with the home assessments, everything has to be in that package. So you have to look for all these things. So, and we saw all the years the success. So we have 95% patients and only 5% clients. So that is the important part. And 80% of these patients, a patient is somebody who is on his way over, let's say, 5, 6, 7 years, from one doctor to the other, next doctor to from one clinic to the other clinic, without success. So they are fully austherapiert, wie sagt man?
Yeah, they're just sort of come to their wits' end. Nothing's working.
Nothing. They just spend money, thousands of euros or dollars or whatever. So, and with these hardcore patients, I call them, we get 80% back. So without putting one finger on themselves. You know,
we don't treat the person.
We just correct some things around them. So the way to live or the way to sleep, for example, because there you spend 8 hours on one place. So you don't run away. You just lay there. And if you have there these EMF problems or geopathic stress problems, then geopathic stress, for example, has time to make the
impact, the
damage. So, and in our thought, it's good to locate this, to see how strong it is or what kind of radiation it is, and to take them, if possible, to take them away. Sometimes it isn't possible. Then you have to be honest and you have to tell them, hey, listen, it's not possible here. So best would be to move to another apartment or whatever, instead of telling them anything, what they want to hear, just to make it easy, but not to have success in the end. So that is always to be honest with the people.
If we move from the story of how things sort of came to be and move to the approach of what we're assessing, and by the way, the reason of what we investigate, of course, we look at the daytime areas where somebody lives, but especially we look at the bedroom because people are there for a long time, but it's also there is where the body rests and repairs itself. And so it makes logical sense that anybody would spend any money to help themselves in the area where the body actually does the repairing. So in our experience, there are a number of things that have the biggest impact on the patient's recovery, right, or their own ability to recover. There's lots of things you can do to improve health. It's nice to breathe clean air and all these things.
But the point is, first of all, you have to make the basics.
Mm-hmm.
So, and the basics means to take everything away which disturbs the repairing system of the body. So the body can repair wonderful. It's super crazy. But if you have a lot of radiation or things which disturbs that process, the body needs, let's say, 30 or 40% of the energy to avoid this.
To fight this.
To keep this away. And the 30 or 40% are losing on that therapy side.
The repairing side.
So, and that is the point. So, and there are 3 big topics you have to look after. So one is the house wiring. So every house these days have an electricity system in the house. So let's say 230 volts, or in America 110.
Is it 110, 120?
So which is alternative current. So, and that is a problem with the own body system, because we are also working or functioning electric, yeah, but with
direct
current and a tiny Strom system.
Yeah, very weak.
So, and to bring these two components together, that's not working. Yeah, that makes the problems. So the best way is, if possible, to take the house wiring, so the low frequency problems away, for example, circuit cutoff switch, or to make barriers with paint or mesh or whatever, to take this away. So next thing is high frequency, which we have since 20 years. So cell phone towers, radio towers, TV towers, whatever. And the other thing is the geopathic stress. Yeah. So, and if you take these three parts away, then you will see, wow, now the body can work and therapies can work as well. Yeah. Treatments can work. And the people are coming very fast forwards.
Yeah, they go forwards in their recovery. Yeah. So geopathic stress, just for those who are unfamiliar with it, geopathic stress is excesses of natural radiation. The easiest way to sort of get it through to how this works is that if you have a piece of aluminium that by accidents makes its way onto what you might have an amalgam filling, then you get that horrible electrical feeling in your mouth. The same thing happens underground when different metals and minerals are near each other, and groundwater allows them to interact with each other. And you get an energy coming up from that area, which can be really irritating because you are stationary there for a long period of time. And so we assess that as well.
And all these things we learned in that nearly 40 years now, we want to give in the seminars to the students, to learn these things and to have profit on our, wie sagt man, Erfahrungen, on our experience.
To benefit from our experience.
Yeah. So just to help other people in these things. Yeah. So, and here we have the seminar room, and people are sitting here and learning. We have 4 or 5 days. So he's going to bed. Okay. Yeah. So we have now 300, 400 meter in the body.
No, it's more.
500. With one seminar, what is also very special, only GeoVital is doing it. If you have been here once and you have paid once for the seminar, you are allowed to repeat that as often as you wish until you tell us, now I got it.
Well, then you can still come.
Yeah. And if you are out working with patients, I would like to have you at least all 2 years.
Every 2 years.
Here for refreshing.
Yeah. And what Sasha is also referring to is the classic course, as we call that. It's a 4-day program, which we teach from here. And I also teach it in Melbourne. And then there's also other training options, which I'll explain later. So, so you mentioned, the low frequency radiation that we get from the electricity. We have the radiation we get from transmitters, phone towers. And then we have geopathic stress. Now, of course, there's a fourth one, which is the mattresses, right? To create an environment where people can rest and regenerate properly.
Yeah, it is a very good and important Baustein.
Building block.
Building block. In that way, just to come quicker to the point.
Yeah, to the outcome.
But technically, it also would work with normal mattress. So we always have to see what do we need technically. Mm-hmm. For example, these things, or a shielding mat, or a paint, or whatever. Yeah, there is the mattress not the part which we absolut brauchen, we absolutely need. Yeah? But in our wie sagt man, Erfahrungen, experience. Yeah, we see how good it is, how good the benefit is to come better or quicker to the point of success.
Yeah. Okay, so again, realizing that the people watching this are people who are maybe thinking about doing training with us. I mean, I know the answer. I just want you to talk about it. We've developed all these wonderful products, which we'll talk about in more detail, which I think that's the reason I'm so proud to be part of this organization, is that we're always trying to do it right. We don't need to be the cheapest, as long as we're doing the best job by our client to create the least amount of or no side effects or some, having the wrong ingredients inside a paint, which people might have intolerance issues with. I love that, and I know our students love that. They come and do the training, and we say, listen, this is a training. You can choose how you want to do your work. And I mean, almost every single one says, I want to be part of GeoVital, which is, I don't expect it, but I'm really proud of it that everybody's so excited at the end. But so we've developed all these products. But
I'm always been asked, why don't we have 2, 3, or 4 types of paint? Why don't we have 2 types of circuit cutters, why don't we have that and that? So I always tell them, listen, I don't need a warehouse.
A warehouse with stock,
with all these products. I only need one, and this one has to be the best which is possible. I don't want to make things weniger effizient.
I don't want to make things that are less efficient.
Only to save a few euros or dollars or whatever.
Make a marketable price point
for selling. So selling is not our target. To do a good job, that is the target. That is very important. To earn money is coming by itself. That is no doubt about it. But you have to be good, and the solutions have to be good, and the work has to be good. And the patient has, if the patient comes at the end to you and tells you, hey, listen, that was the best idea of the last 10 years, then you got the target. Then you made a good job.
You hit the mark.
So, and for that, you need these solutions. And we are doing the products as good as possible. That's the reason why we always work on the products to make them better or whatever. And I never, that's me. I never ask for the price. I always ask, what is the benefit of it? So
how can it help us? How can it help the client?
So, and if you do it that way, you will be fine.
Okay. Now, leading on from that, you have all these wonderful products. Why aren't they on Google and eBay and Amazon and all these things? Why do we want an assessment done?
It makes no sense. Listen, we have in Germany, I told him yesterday, we have in Germany people who are world champions in saving money.
I'll disclose the door, hang on.
So, and they are on the internet. They are Googling everything and are trying to get their information and to save money, not to spend for somebody like a geobiologist or whatever. So they want to do it by themselves, and that makes no sense.
DIY.
Because they have not the experience. So you can spend a lot of money to buy that and it and whatever. But the question in the beginning is, what is necessary.
Yeah, what needs to be done.
What needs to be done. Yeah. So where's the problem? What kind of problem? And what is the solution we need? Yeah. So, and if you do it that way, then you save a lot of money. Then you'll save a lot of time and a lot of work. Yeah. So for that, you need the expert, because you by yourself, you don't have the experience or the knowledge about these things. So, and that's the reason why we have the geobiologist who comes,
The consultants,
who comes, spend 2, 3, maybe 4 hours in that home with the instruments, with the devices, with the experience. Yeah, they do with the house owner together. It is always a teamwork, because he is living there. He has the problem and he has to understand what his problem is, that he find himself the solution. And the geobiologist helps him to find the way, the consultant.
The consultant, which hopefully would be you perhaps, is there to almost, I'd say, facilitate the assessment.
Yeah.
We don't come in and say, hey, nice to meet you, do what you want to do. I'll be in your house for the next 3 hours, and then I'll come and sit down with you and tell you everything that's wrong in your house. You go into people's homes and you show them the meters, and they get to hold the meters, and they go around the house assessing with your help. And by doing that, they understand it more. And as a consultant, you know their house.
They have to get that feeling. Yeah, they have to see, for example, in the kids' room with his daughter's room. Yeah, they have to measure the electricity, and because he never made it before. Yeah,
he's never done it before.
Yeah, and he's there and measuring and says, "What the hell is this?" Yeah, that's not possible.
I've had, and we always joke about it, especially with students, that you talk about the imaginary electrical engineer. You go into a house and maybe, let's say, one partner has invited us to come and do the assessment, and the other partner is there, and you can see it from the beginning. They sit there with their arms crossed like this, and it's like, I'm just humoring my partner. Right. And you've met him, I've met him, and they sit there and they say, I appreciate you're here. I'm here because my wife asked us to do this today. I'm an electrical engineer. Electricity is not a problem. Otherwise, I would know about it. Right. And this is this guy's work. He's been doing this for 20 years already. And 5 minutes later, he's got the meter in his hand. And he's measuring his partner sitting in the lounge room or in front of a window or lying in bed. And you see his face change. And they admit to you, says, I never knew electricity did this. They don't teach us this stuff. But you need that experience.
Du musst es erleben.
You have to. And that's why it's pointless doing an assessment with only one partner there. Because nobody can relate what it is you will see and witness to their partner.
And that is the point why it makes no sense to buy things from the online shop without knowing what you're buying.
Or how to apply it.
And if it is necessary, or if you just need something different. So that is maybe not the right stuff to get that problem away. So, and for that you need the expert who is there and says, listen, in these cases here, we do this, and that's the solution.
So we're passionate about teaching people how to become consultants. At the end of the training, we hope that they're charmed by our background and our ethics and our products, that just like most people, they are very excited to sort of carry the GeoVital flag and represent us, which we would be delighted for them to do, or for you to do. But then we really, I guess what you get with us is that we really feel that it is the assessment first, right? And that's you as a consultant. You come first, because it makes no sense to buy something and have a go at it. It doesn't make sense to buy shielding paint online and then look at your room and go, where shall I put the grounding tape, right? And you get nobody to ask. Those online shops don't even have a phone number and they don't know the house. But if you go into somebody's house, you know that little girl's bedroom, you know their son's bedroom, you know the master bedroom, you were there, you've discussed these things. And so that way the client will get the best possible help.
Yeah, and it's also with the quality. Yeah. So these days we see there are some people who are doing shielding paints and selling these online. Yeah. And these days we see it again as a manufacturer who brings a new Max paint on market, which is much better than the other paint he had before. And if you are studying the data, you see that he's using more water components in it, less hardcore. Wie sagt man? Also
yeah, more
Feststoff.
Yeah, more water, less active materials.
Yeah. So, and the shielding is going up 10 or 15 dBs up. So, which is physically not possible.
Yeah.
So, and that is fake here and fake there, just to sell things. And in the end, people are buying this and standing there. And in the end, you do the measurement after that again.
Yeah.
You know, so you have, for example, measurements before you buy whatever online. Yeah, you do it, you apply it, and then after that you make the control measurement, and there you see
average.
That
try again.
That was crap. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
you
do it. Yeah, and you do it a second time, or maybe you do it a third time, and that is money you're losing because you spent it 2 times or 3 times instead of doing it 1 time right.
Yeah. And we see this. I don't know if you've heard this story already. I've quoted it a few times. We have Alan, one of our consultants in Australia. Alan goes into a house and assesses the radio frequency radiation outside first before he goes in. I do the same thing. So you get a bit of an idea of what the problem is like outside. And he goes in, I think outside he had 3,500 microvolts on the body. So inside you expect a little less because of the building materials, but he goes inside and he goes into the bedroom and he gets 350. And he thinks, well, that's quite an impressive reduction for the building materials, right? And then the lady goes, well, actually, Alan, we've already shielded this.
No.
And then he goes, well, in that case, it is a terrible reading for already having gone into all this expense and all this effort. And we're still going to have to start from scratch because it's still nowhere near where we want to be.
Yeah, this is, wie sagt man, schade? Shame?
Yeah, it's a shame.
Yeah, it's a shame.
It's really sad. All right, so maybe what might be cool, maybe if we've got some meters we could use just to sort of explain how that's different. You want to grab them?
Ich kann einen Koffer holen.
Yeah, okay. And then we'll do a little tour. And then I hope you'll find this delightful and interesting. So we're a little different
measuring
in assessing the radiation types. Magnetic fields, everybody's the same because you can only measure the air for that. When it comes to electric fields and radio frequency radiation, you have the ability to assess the body. And because when we started, we were working with a lot of doctors. And, when you go to the doctor and you say, oh, I've got, something in my mouth that's irritating me, the doctor doesn't go and measure something around your head. the doctor is going to take a mouth swab and he's going to send it off for testing, right? That makes logical sense. So when it comes to, radio frequency radiation from cell phone towers and that sort of stuff, it's great to measure around somebody's head or the air in their room, but it makes a lot more sense to actually see what arrives. So our meters are a little bit different in terms of what we assess, but also the displays are different because let's call them, they're simple to read, which is not for you being our consultant. That's for the people that you'll be handing this meter over to, who you'll do the assessment with.
So you have to know that we didn't, wie sagt man, wir haben das nicht erfunden. We erfinden, found?
Experienced?
No. Erfinden.
Try again. I do my best translating, but sometimes he gives me a new one.
Okay.
Erfunden.
Yeah, erfinden. We didn't create the devices by ourselves.
Oh, you didn't invent it?
Invented.
Okay.
So these devices were always there. Yeah. So when we start with the work, we see that all these people, engineers, doctors, homeopaths, were using the Hengstenberg device. That is the old one. Yeah. So, and they wanted to work with these things instead of the building biologists.
Yeah, the air measuring meters.
Because the building biologists measured the air and especially the medicina, the medicine guys.
Yeah,
they wanted to measure the body. So, and you have here this antenna, and if you grab here, you make this antenna bigger over the whole body.
With your body.
So, and with this measurement, you can measure what's coming in and not what's going out.
Yeah, you assess what arrives, not the output.
Yeah, so and that is for the medicine people very important, because that is a huge difference between a small antenna, which the building biologists have, and a body antenna, which is, for example, 1.7 meters high and I don't know how wide. Yeah, so I'm collecting much more of that, for example, high frequency than that small antenna of the building biologist.
And sorry to interrupt, what I think is a sort of example people can relate to if you're a little bit more mature like us, you remember the old TVs with the bunny ear antennas on the top, right? You remember you had to set them to try and get a good picture. And sometimes the picture would go bad, and then you'd send somebody over to adjust the bunny ears, the antennas. And as long as they were touching it, you had a great picture, didn't you? Right? And then you let go, and then the picture would be rubbish. And then we all make the same joke, stay there, keep holding on to it. Right? So we already know from this that we are an antenna.
Yeah. So all the years we were working with these devices, that was Hengstenberg, that high frequency device, that was Genitron, which was the low frequency device. But how long is it now? 10 years, 12 years ago?
Yeah, about that.
They finished with it. So Hengstenberg told us, I will stop it. And Genitron was sold to a French company, which also stopped it. So, and that was for us a big problem, because now the students didn't have work tools.
Yeah.
So, and we had to find a solution for this. And first of all, we went to Bosch to create new devices. We went also to Giga Solution to ask them, which was not possible. We went to Siemens to do it with them, which was not possible. So in the end, we had to do it by ourselves. Yeah. And we said, okay, if we want to create new devices, which that is very impossible, had to work like the old one. So wir wollten nicht das Rad neu erfinden.
Yeah, we don't want to reinvent something. We just wanted to
Yeah, so we said, okay, we need new devices, but they should measure higher than the old one.
Yeah, they have a
but
bigger
not
range.
different. But not different. Yeah.
Just going to show the display for a second. I know this is.
And also turn the value down. And also we want to keep it very simple to understand, because these people, the house owners, yeah, they don't understand these technically things. Yeah. And we wanted to have a display with ein kleiner Mann, with
a
a
little
man
on there,
who says okay, or naja, or not okay. Yeah. So to keep it very simple, and that is something the consultant love, the doctors love who are using these devices, or engineers love, because with one view you see everything in a second.
It's like a traffic light.
Yeah, so super. Instead of
maybe
having
I know
it complicated.
Maybe I can try and I'm just trying to, maybe if I create a bit of friction, you see the green sort of come up a little bit. Sorry, my computer's on battery power. Oh, okay. See, so you see a bar that fills up to red, the little man becomes unhappy. Thank you. See, so you see the little man comes unhappy, puts his hands in his hips. The bar fills up from green to yellow to more red. And so for somebody who's never used these meters before, who are going to investigate their house with you, it's very easy for them to understand what the meter is trying to tell them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is very important. And also with the high frequency meter, we made the range higher, we made the scale higher. And even these days you come to areas where this one says arrow, which is incredible.
Yeah, when this Hengstenberg device, sometimes this would max out. And so we thought if we're going to build our own, it needs to measure higher values. And this one went up to 10,000 microvolts. And we thought that'll never max out. And I think 1 or 2 years later, my first time was in London, where it maxed out first time.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So so the meters are different. So we assess radio frequency radiation on the body, which is a great way to see what the burden is of the body. Now, some people have said, well, hang on, if you just raise the alarm bell sooner, then isn't that a great way to sell more paint? Well, yeah, you could argue that, but it also means that when you assess the situation after you've mitigated, that the alarm bells would go off, would show a higher number, showing the mitigation wouldn't be good enough. And that's where this shows you really what's going on. It'll show you what is going on in the body, but it'll also show you when the shielding that's been applied has been cheap quality. You're not even talking about the ingredients which might interact with somebody, but just the shielding effectiveness. If it's been, very little benefit, this meter will tell you, because the body will tell you.
Yeah, you have to come down into that, wie sagt man, in diese wichtige Zone, wo der Körper nicht mehr reagiert.
Yeah, in an important zone in which the body doesn't react anymore.
Yeah, and then you get the target.
Yeah.
And not
all right.
higher.
Maybe, because I know time's ticking along, shall we do a little bit of a tour of here, because it's very cool, impressive, and we have some daylight left. And then, anyway, we'll sort of conclude after that. I'll tell you a little bit more about the training options at the end. So I'm gonna try and carry my laptop around. So give me a minute. I even brought a little light for you. I'm gonna try and clamp that onto my laptop. Give me a minute. Oh, how well organized are we? All right. Okay. The picture will be a little bit wobbly, but we're doing our best.
Don't let it fall.
Yeah, no, I'll try not to let it fall. All right, tell me where you or take us
that
around.
is the student room here. I'm sitting there. I'm drawing a lot of things at the drawing board. Yeah, the students are sitting there. Nice view in the back, and we have here PowerPoint possibilities. We have a lot of things to experiment, to see. Also here with the, wie sagt man, cupboards?
Yeah, cupboards.
Yeah, with building materials, which some are good, some are bad. It's very important to understand what is good and what is not so good, or which even doesn't work. Yeah, so that is very important. Huh? So we have also here a lot of things we are collecting from patients.
Yeah, tell that story.
So they bring us shielding solutions from other people selling whatever.
Often we deal with people that they have made some investments with other people or other products or a market and haven't really had any results. So we come into houses and a lot of people spend money on things and we collect these things.
Yeah, funny dishes.
What's that supposed to do?
Also das ist die geopathic stress wegzumachen.
Okay, that's against geopathic stress.
Yeah, so that is something very dangerous. Yeah, that is an aluminium foil for under the mattress, which gets a grounding.
Okay, an earthing blanket.
Very dangerous because you are creating more electric fields than before.
Yeah, it actually makes you more attractive for electric fields.
Yeah, that brought me a patient from Vienna. So we shielded their bedroom, and she. This is the medication of her, and that is 5 months tablets she didn't take. Yeah. She wanted to know what she's eating. Yeah, and she wanted to know what she's after that improvement of health she didn't take. So instead of not taking it, she just took everything normal, but all the tablets which she didn't take, she put it into that glass.
Yeah, she did this together with the doctor, of course, right? So the doctor, she said, I want to get off this enormous repertoire of medicine that I need to take.
This is 5 months of tablets in that time she didn't take.
Yeah.
Incredible, huh?
Yeah. Do you want to, sorry, I just think this is funny. She rang, you did the assessment, you made the changes in her house, and then together with the doctor, they started to wean her of the medicine. And then some months later, you got a phone call.
Yeah. Terrible phone call, terrible. She were on the phone and she were asking, is there Sasha? And I said, yeah, I'm on the phone. And then she started, what did you do with me? I nearly died. And so she was crying on the phone. I was taking it away. I said, wow, what the hell is going on there?
Where is this going?
You know, and she were talking about my husband had to ring the ambulance and all this stuff. Yeah, nearly. And so that went on 3-4 days, and then everything was good. And I said, wow. And we are quite fine. Yeah. So, and she said, we want to visit relations here in relatives in Vorarlberg,
in the area,
and would like to come for coffee to the academy. And she were asking if I'm there, and I said, yeah, sure. Would love to have you there, and you tell me how you're feeling and so. And she brought me that.
That was the gift.
That was the gift.
Yeah. So she obviously had, as you can expect, terrible withdrawal symptoms going off the medication, and Sasha nearly had a heart attack when you accepted the phone call.
Here we have another. We have the whole basement full of that stuff.
So many things.
That is electric killer.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you plug it in and all electricity is gone.
Oh, okay, yeah, it's a neutralizer, harmonizer, balancer, that sort of a stuff.
That is a TV death.
Okay.
You put it on the TV,
yeah,
and all electricity is gone.
Oh, cool. I've never seen that one
Yeah.
before.
That's whatever.
Okay.
That is here in eingeschweißt.
Yes, sealed in.
Vacuum. Yeah. That is cow shit from a holy cow from Nepal.
Okay.
Yeah, so people are selling these things and
Making money.
patients think that is good.
Yeah.
So we have lots of things.
Lots of, and they look very pretty, but yeah.
The Swiss guys, they love Kästchen boxes.
Boxes, yeah.
Some
with a dial on it.
Whatever on it, you know. If you screw it up, there's nothing in it.
If you open it up, there's nothing in it. All right. Yeah. Well, let's move on. So, and it is a bit sad that you know, people spend a lot of money on all that sort of stuff, and if they would have just invested it into things that actually worked in the first place, they would have saved themselves a lot of money. All right, so here is the entertainment area. This is the balcony outside, where my light is playing. Normally the view is amazing here. You can look for kilometers, miles in the distance. Now we've got lots of snow.
So this is the important part of the academy. I will show you.
Now he's going to show you the most important part.
Machine. Yeah,
the coffee machine.
That is the important part, especially for me. Yeah. So we have offices here, offices there, and we have offices here, but that is also important. I don't know if it's. Warte mal, muss man jetzt mal anmachen hier. Make the light. That is a place where we experiment with the students. So one is laying in, the other are measuring here. We have simulated a bedroom, yeah, with the wiring, and then the students can see what happened there. And we also have a circuit cutoff switch installed, yeah, so that we also can simulate how it would be in the end.
Yeah, how it's fixed.
With an installed circuit cutoff switch.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very cool. Yeah.
So nobody sleeps here. This is just for demonstration purposes.
Working place. Yeah, we have a water vane, eine künstliche Wasserader.
Yeah. My light's turning around. Recovery. Oh, sorry, I don't know. It looks. This is an artificially created water vane, so which is a geopathic stress type. And so we can turn this on because this building is shielded, and so it has these things fixed. Yeah. But this one is, let's say, artificially imported, so we can do some practice here in the building.
Yeah, with the students. No? Genau. So, dann können wir mal rübergehen.
All right, we'll go.
So for the new topics are, for example, solar system installation. So the new topics is electric drive. So wie sagt man?
Yeah, electric cars and driving.
Electric cars, yeah. So we have extra seminars for this. Yeah, so everything about electric cars and also solar
panels
systems. Yeah, so and that is very important to do that correctly. Otherwise, you get a lot of problems here. Yeah, and you see there and up on the roof here somewhere. So there we can walk with the students and can measure here and there, and they see the differences. Yeah, and it's very important for understanding.
Oh, so this is one building here, and that's the other building. Nice to see everybody still with us. Yeah, with the electric cars, you know, the world is going electric, and we have to with climate change, and it's, you know, it's an unavoidable change. And so we can stick our heads in the sand as long as we like, but we're going to have to deal with the consumption of electricity that is going to increase, and, you know, the effects that'll have on our wiring, but also people will have charges in their houses. And so, you know, we're getting our consultants ready for that slowly.
Yeah, so there, for example, we have here a place where we can hang up a canopy, so we can measure outside, inside, everybody can see.
Okay, I think we're back. Sorry, I'm
too high shielded.
Yeah, I'm trying to keep my my cell phone is piggybacking the signal in here, but it's shielded, so it's all a little tricky trying to get it to still behave. Hang on a second. It's bigger.
Is it working?
Yeah, I hope so. I'll leave the phone over there against the window.
Okay, so there we have shielding mats, for example, shielding mesh, paint, grounding stuff, built-in shieldings, shieldings under the bed, satellites.
So this is the geopathic stress. This is for orders going out shortly.
Mattress, then cell phone pouches.
Pouches, yeah.
Pouches, yeah. Pillows. So a lot of things to see and to feel and to experiment with.
Yeah. We have some recordings of webinars that we do also, and videos about the mattresses. So we won't go into too much detail here, but there's two models on display here for the students to have a look at when they come.
You can see the stretch system of the mattress. So one is going this side, one is going that side, and that makes the stretching of the mattress. And that is the only mattress who's doing something with the people at night. Yeah, all the other mattresses are just for soft, hard laying. That's it. And that is like a 8 hours physiotherapeut without getting
charged for it.
Wie sagt man Muskelkater? Muskelkater? When the muscles and the
without being sore.
Yeah. So it's really cool.
Yeah. So in brief, our mattresses are toxin free. We don't use chemical propellants in the production of it, which is normally what you get intolerance issues with or allergic reactions. So it's toxin free. It is anti-static, which most mattresses are not. It is a high breathability. You could literally put your mouth on the mattress and breathe through it. It is metal free, so the metal doesn't, often creates a static magnetic field, which distracts your body from the natural signals it's supposed to get as well. It has a removable cover, which is easy to take off with a zipper, washable. So yeah, they're gorgeous mattresses, all handmade here and then shipped around the world.
Yeah. So, and when you're here, then you see also the fabrication a little bit. Not everything.
Not everything. Got to keep a few things a secret.
Good.
Cool. All right. So that's big part of the building. So we'll head back, and then maybe I'll talk a little bit more about training for those who are interested.
This is
this is shipping for tomorrow. Oh shit! Yeah, it's still working on the Fenster. Sorry, as I said, I'm piggybacking this signal on my cell phone, but I've left it against the window over there because I was losing signal with the shielding. Werner, I don't know if I mentioned Werner. Werner is Sasha's father, who started all this. This is Werner's motorhome. So in summer, thank you. They disappear and they go and meet all the old consultants and have a nice time with them. Dankeschön. It's quite a facility. Okay, so maybe I'll tell, I don't know where Sasha's run off to. I'll tell a little bit about the training, and then I'm sure Sasha will be around for a little bit. I can pull him back in and we can do some questions at the end as well. Give me a second. Okay, so in terms of the training, so here in Austria, they teach what we now call the classic course, which is a 4-day program, which is sort of an immersion experience where for 4 days you buckle down, we take you through all the theory, and we take you out for field work, which we have to do for geopathic stress training. We can use a training room to teach about electronic pollution, and we often go to some hotel rooms as well and sort of show you how to do an assessment. With the classic course, as Sasha was saying, traditionally, we've always invited students back to redo that. And, you know, sometimes you get some new things because there's often developments, sometimes not so much new things, but every time you absorb more of the knowledge because you've heard it again. To us, it's very obvious that the consultants that do repeat training, they're the most confident and the most successful consultants almost every single time. So that's the classic course. Now, I've also sort of made an alternative approach, listening to the feedback of the students. It was often, love the course, but I wish I had more time with the instruments, more hands-on practice. And so I started thinking about this. I was already teaching a course online. But I fell into the same sort of habit, as in we did 4 days of 8 hours online training like we do now, as in on the Zoom call with you. So what we do instead, I've broke that up. I've called it the EMF business startup course. And so we spread that now into 3 parts: EMF 1, EMF 2, and EMF 3. EMF 1 is a guided online course, as in you get access to an online training system, online knowledge center, where you watch videos of me training this information. You can watch the videos, you can pause them, you can rewind, you can replay to make that information your own. And after the course, you maintain access to it. So you can go back and you can repeat as often as you like. Every week, as in you get access to a certain amount of information. And every week we have an online call like this, and that might be about 2.5 hours. And we go over the most important things you should have learned that week. There's also some assignments that you can do to improve your learning. Then you get access to the next section of information in the online knowledge center. So you have a whole week, as in it probably takes you 3-4 hours to maybe do that, but you can do that on Tuesday night if that works for you. You can do it on Saturday if you like, but on my Monday morning, normally in Melbourne, if I'm there, typically Sundays for Europe and the Americas, then we do that review session again, and we go over what you should have learned. And so we do that we have 6 online meetings in total. And so that is a very detailed approach. We even cover more theory than we can fit in a 4-day live course. So there's a lot of information. There's videos where you can watch assessments actually being done, assessments being explained, which you can watch, rewind, replay. And so you learn an incredible amount inside of 6 weeks. For those people, and we do give people an ability to purchase the measuring instrumentation at a sharper price. because we'd rather get you to buy the meter so you can get started with this. We don't want more students, we want more consultants, really. So we try and make that hurdle as low as possible. And then if people end up purchasing instrumentation during the course, we can do a virtual assessment where you can have a friend follow you around with a cell phone with Zoom on it to keep you, as in they're the camera person, keeping you in shot while you assess your own house, a friend's house. And I'll be on the other side watching the assessment. And normally your fellow students are also invited to look. And so we sort of let you do the assessment. We'll make a course correction, give you some pointers where you need to do something a little different or change your wording. It's like I'm standing next to you, but I could be half a world away. So that's EMF1. That is part of the whole program, but it is also a standalone program. With that, you can get hands-on. You can start, of course, you need instrumentation. You need to get some practice yourself with homes of friends and family, which you have to do anyway. But you can, after that, be working and get into the industry, get experience, and start earning some of that investment back already. In terms of the investment, as in for training and for the instrumentation, goodness, if you hit the ground running and maybe did 10 or 15 paid assessments, you've already been well on your way of earning back the money you've invested. So to start a business, this is a minor expense. Anyway, so EMF1 is a standalone program, but part of a bigger whole or bigger vision, really. EMF2 is our business sessions, where we have every 2 months or so, we have a business session about a particular topic. So we might go over social media marketing one time. We might do photography and videography another time, because your marketing and doing videos is part of you growing your business. Because it's great, and that's what I learned from the feedback from students, is that it's great that we teach you how to assess properly, but in the end, you want to help other people, you want to have an impact on the world, and you want to grow your business, you want to earn some money with it as well. So we have experience with this, but we need time to impart that onto you. And so we fitted that into that EMF2 course of mine. And so we have, so let's say, bi-monthly meetings where we talk about a particular subject, body language, effective communication, all these sorts of things, they come in there. We have a time management course, which is a 7-week program, including materials I could send out to you, which is the course in itself normally sells for about $800-900 US. That's part of EMF2, because everybody's short on time. And so we desperately need better time management. And so I'm actually certified in that. I can help you with that. So that's part of EMF2. Part of EMF2 is also that we can create a copy of a website for you. We have a website, you can have a look at it. It's located at emfinvestigation.com. There's a simple website with pictures of me, stories about me. And so what we can do as part of EMF2, when you've finished EMF1, and some of your assignments are actually have to do with this, we can create a copy of this website, and we can update the text of About Patrick with an About You text that was one of your assignments in EMF1, and some other things. So we personalize this website with some of the assessments that you did in EMF1. You're also, one of the assignments was to make some pictures of yourself, as in with a smart meter and a phone tower and those sorts of things. And so those pictures, my IT guy will use to remove the Patrick pictures and make your pictures. And so you basically walk away with a functioning, simple website where you can, when you do advertising on your own to find clients, that is an address that you can mention on there so the leads come to you. So that's part of EMF2 as well. So all part of getting this business of yours up and running. And then the last component is EMF3. That is the hands-on practical workshop. Now you can do that with having done EMF1, so you could skip EMF2, but it makes sense to sort of do that. But EMF3 is a 4-day, 3-day or 4-day practical workshop where you, me, and a maximum of just 5 other students, we come together either here in Austria, in Melbourne in Australia, Vancouver in Canada, or hopefully next year, Kuala Lumpur in Asia, we come together and we can teach you the geopathic stress, which is really a hands-on thing. We need to meet in person for that. So that's part of those 4 days. And for the rest of those 4 days, we will actually assess houses together or living spaces together. It could be apartments, those sorts of things. Now, sounds like I'm trying to make a big deal out of that. And I sort of am, because there's no other course that does this, which I know is sort of weird, isn't it? As in, if you're learning to be an EMF consultant, learn how to assess houses, nobody takes you to a house, right? Because it takes time. And normally you don't have time to do that. Either you go into a course where there's 40 people and it's undoable. So you end up going to a hotel room or a bedroom where they lay some electrical cable around and pretend that it is somebody's house. Or, you just don't have the time to fit it all in. But because we've spread it out, or I've spread it out in this EMF 1, EMF 2, EMF 3 business startup course, in EMF 3, we can really go and do 2 house assessments in a day. I often email the local community and say, hey, I'm coming again with some students. If you'd like to have your home assessed for free, but you don't mind me turning up at 6 students at most, which also makes it very intimate, very special, then you can have this assessment for free. So, depending on where we are, we get a massive response or a little response, but there's a good chance that there'll be some wild card homes in there that we'll go to with actually people living there, and they'll be asking you questions, as in one of the consultants, one of the trainees will be the person taking charge, and they'll get the questions, and I'll be there to jump in necessary. But it's a massive learning curve. So you can do EMF 1 and do the home assessments with friends and families, and you'll have a certain amount of experience. And that's good enough to start working with. But if you do that practical workshop at the end or close to it, you get propelled to a much higher level of experience. And of course, that makes a lot of sense. And, which is not, not a bad idea either, is that, let's say you live in North America. It makes sense for you to come and do the live workshop with me in Canada, right? Same electrical system. And so you get experience on your continent on how things work. Now, you can do that once, but if you wanted, you can come and do that again. I mean, in those courses, there's no free spots because it can only take 5 or 6 people. But you could repeat that course. You could do that again. But you could do it somewhere else. So why not do one in Canada the first year? And you'll be working, making money. And then if you wanted to, ask your accountant, but if you wanted a tax deductible trip to Europe, right, you could maybe come to Austria and do another course with me and then assess another 6 or 7 homes, get more experience, different electrical systems, something that looks great on your resume as well. And of course, your trip, I would assume, would be tax deductible because you're already running a business. And so you can do more of these courses over the years to come, if you like, to sort of, keep in tune with everything and learn heaps. All right, so we're sort of coming to the end. So I'm going to ask Sasha if he can come back in so we can answer some questions to make it a bit more interactive. And we might cut it off here for the replay for the people who are here. We can, you can open your mic and camera if you're not in your pajamas, and you can ask some questions directly to myself or to Sasha. For those bowing out before the questions or those on the replay, thank you very much for coming. I appreciate your interest. There's a lot of other things you could have done with your time today, and so I'm delighted you've come to learn a little bit more about us. And if you see yourself helping people in the future with us, and after having done training, then that would be great.